Hi everybody, so once again, we have a funny story here from the Wall Street Journal that I was reading today. And a nation of workaholics has a new fixation, working less. As well, yes, you have countries that are going to work more and countries that are going to work less. So that's going to take into account the total hours worked throughout the year. And what I found here is that fresh statistics are blowing a hole in Germany's reputation for hard work as a new generation discovers the joys of taking it easy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Germans want to work less. I always remember when I was little, I was living in southern Italy, and throughout the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you had many people migrating to Germany and because there was a financial crisis in Italy, especially the south has always been poor, and people would just move up to Germany and establish new roots, create a new life, and most of the jobs were found in the manufacturing sector. For example, my mom was working for a factory where they would make like ribbons and gifts stuff and wrappers and stuff like that. Just think of it back then. It was crazy in the 80s. My dad instead was working in a factory as a welder. And I also have some uncles of mine that work in the technology, cousin that is still there, and they really built their wealth there. And they worked extenuating hours. They had to learn German. It was a total new, different life. And I remember this because when they came back to visit for the summer or whenever they had holidays, they would bring like these giant duffel bags stuffed with all kinds of chocolates and candies and snacks, things that you couldn't find down in the south. Well, because we were poor. And I remember I would just recall the uncles because they would bring me these chocolate bars and everything, Swiss chocolate, German chocolate, all this kind of stuff. And it was amazing. It was incredible. And literally duffel bags, insane. Say, why in the hell would you buy duffel bags and stuff? So they would just bring it around to family and just give it around. And it was fun. It was good memories. So I was in Germany too when I was little. And I remember it was a good life. I remember going around and playing in parks and stuff. Now you're talking about me being 3. And still, yes, I remember things when I was 3 years old. So what is about Germany? So Germans worked about 1,343 hours on average last year, less than anyone else in the OECD, a club of 38 rich nations. Germans also took 19.4 sick days last year. Wow. According to the country's largest health insurer, the highest number ever recorded. Ending a decade-long hiatus, trade unions have begun pushing for shorter working hours, not just higher pay. Coaches, sociologists, and organizations consultants are extolling the virtues of putting one's feet up as a cure for burnouts, broken families, low productivity, and even climate change. Oh yes, everything is climate change. Oh, anxiety, climate anxiety, the newest trend. You know what it is? So I have a headache. It's because of the climate, by the way. Jokes aside, so this is a conundrum for employers because, of course, they see their productivity lower because you have less hours and you have to pay people the same by working less hours. And there is this guy that is a middle-sized distributor of industrial parts in northern Germany, and he says that the anti-work backlash is real and it has especially hit Gen Z. And he mentions, we just had this apprentice, 23-year-old, a very talented woman, he said. We offer her a full-time job, and what does she say? I want to work 4 days a week. I want time to sell stuff on the internet, do this, do that. Then you have the 59-year-olds. They want to slow down and work Monday through Thursday. And the trend is perplexing economists and politicians who worry that the bout of nonchalance may bode ill for a stagnant economy that is experiencing its worst labor shortage in recent history. People in France, Italy, and elsewhere, they work a lot more than we do. Finance Minister Christian Lindner complained earlier this year as he unveiled tax incentives to make Germans fall back in love with overtime. Oh wow, this is like a reverse incentive. Just you gotta work more hours, otherwise we're gonna fire you. But no, they cannot fire you. I think they have really strong unions as well. So. And everybody's talking about part-time work, about the 4-day week. This is a big economy danger. So you see, when people want more rights and they want more to live their life a little bit the way they want, I mean, yeah, you have to work. But we went through working extenuating in coal mines in England back in the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution, 16-hour days and 1 mile to walk to the mine, 1 mile to walk back, and that wasn't taken into account. And you would just destroy your health, and you would destroy your back. You would just age as fast as you could, and even risking of dying. And who gives a shit? Nobody did, because these mine owners had to make the money because of coal was a huge commodity back then. And then after that, so few rights just came out. And I don't know if it was in the United States that they just started the 8-hour week, or if it was in Europe. I'm not certain of that. I would have to research it. But from 16-hour days, from dawn to dusk until 8 hours, well, it wasn't a big change after all. But now, whenever you have these people that come out, the employees come out and say, well, we would like to have a better work-life balance. And you have politicians that say, oh no, we need just to push them back, and we cannot have this. It's not going to be good for productivity. I mean, you can strike a balance and have both. If people. So there was I don't know how many times I read the same post, but worded in a different way on X, and people would say that. Especially young people, they would say, I'm supposed to work 8-hour days, 5 days a week, and then go home on Saturday and Sunday and clean my house, cook, run errands, and then Monday is back again the same. This is not life. You cannot have two weeks holidays during the year. It is not way to live. 40 years later, and you retire. Many older generations have done so, but the economy was different. The incentive structure was different. The economy, people would just buy a house for $5,000 or something back then. Nowadays, even if you work part-time, you cannot even afford, or full-time, I mean, on minimum wage, you can barely afford to buy a house, because the mean price of a house, the average or mean, is about $400,000 or more, and you need to put a 20% down, which is, for many people, it's unthinkable. And there you go. Most people don't have houses. Rents are going up. The inflation, it's a shit show. So you might understand the struggle there. But this is a different thing. This is like people asking for more flexibility at their work. So in German, the virtue word for hard work is, let me see here. It's Fleib, F-L-E-I, and then they have that funny B that has elongated leg in the D on the side. It looks like a capital B, which can translate as diligence of industriousness. So Fleib shaped the political conversation during the Eurozone debt crisis in 2010, when many German voters resented having to bail out their Greek cousins who retired at 57, and going by the news footage, seemed to spend their lives sipping espresso on cafe terraces. Well, yes, Mediterranean countries have a different lifestyle, longer siesta, they take it easy. So fast forward to today, and the average Greek worked 1,897 hours last year, so 14 years later than 2010. According to the OECD, 554 hours more than the average German. Greeks now retire at 67. And the new law allowing a 6-day work week went into force last month. This is insane. 6 days. So here in the United States, on average, depending by job and position, you will have on average a 5-day work week followed by if you have a 9 to 5, generally is Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday you have it off. When I was working in Italy, it was every day, working every day in the summer because you had little to no job opportunity. So whenever you have a job, you try to keep it because there's another 20 people behind you that are struggling the same. They would like to fight to have that job. So what do? You put the rights under your feet in a sense that there'll be no rights and no protections, and you just go and work and try to make a living because there is no other opportunities. Meanwhile, in Germany, 50 companies are piloting a 4-day week for a study by the University of Münster, aiming to determine whether less work and full pay might be appealing to workers. The EU expects the Greek economy to grow by 2.2% this year, while the German economy hasn't grown since 2019. Well, there's a lot of other reasons there. Energy prices are crushing the German economy too, due to the war in Ukraine. I didn't say anything. The crisis taught Greeks that success comes from hard work. And the Germans, some German companies say, I employ quite a few Greeks, also Italians and Spaniards. Germans less so. They know the system well, and when you do, you tend to abuse the system. Human nature. You're welcome. That's what happens. And what else do they have? So I just did a research and found that as of 2024, the countries where people work the most hours are located in Latin America and Asia. So Mexico tops the list with an average of, just guess, 2,207 hours worked per year, which translates to about 43 hours per week. What's 43 hours per week? That sounds weird though. Yeah, depends how many days. They don't say. Costa Rica and Chile also rank highly, with workers in these countries logging 2,171 and 1,953 hours per year, respectively. In Asia, South Korea is known for its long working hours, averaging 1,872 hours per year. However, this is part of a declining trend due to government efforts to reduce working hours to improve work-life balance. No way! South Korea, in 50 years, if they keep on going like this, will go extinguished because their population is declining at the fastest rate than any other country in the world. Therefore, I highly suggest them to adjust their work-life balance because it's their future, it's in the way. And in contrast, countries like Germany and the Netherlands have some of the shortest work hours, with Germans working about 1343 per year. Yeah, just pretty much the same what we read in the article here. This is reflective of strong labor protections and cultural attitudes that prioritize work-life balance. The variation in working hours across countries are influenced by economic structure, labor laws, and cultural attitudes towards work. So, what do I have to say about this? It is a new era. Technology has allowed us to so many other jobs have been lost because of technological advancements. With the incoming AI, many other jobs will go away, and we don't know to what extent. So we don't know yet. In the next 10 years, we'll find out more about what jobs are going to disappear. Like call centers, I think they're going to disappear, honestly. Like you can have we could replace thousands of agents with an AI system that can answer multiple calls. It is frustrating though when you talk to an AI. An example, I call the bank or I chat with somebody at the bank. you write something, and always you always type something. You need something that is not in the selections that the AI gives you. And I always say, can I talk to a human operator, human operator? And then they say, oh, there is a line, this and that, therefore you cannot speak to anyone, and it's going to take longer. But it is true, like content creation, websites, you will have many of these things that will take over AI. And who knows? Do I really think that a 4-hour work week would work? Workweek would work. It depends. It depends on the type of job. If you're doing menial jobs, let's say, as long as you're productive and you finish a project, but some things are lengthy. So it really depends on the type of work. If you have office work throughout the day, 8 hours. I work in a public sector. And how many people just come and waste so much time talking? An 8-hour day, it might as well turn out to be a 6-hour day. However, if you have opening and closing hours, you need to provide a service to the public, therefore you cannot leave. And then how are you going to manage to, you say, okay, we work 6 hours per day, 4 days a week, but the pay is going to be the same. And will you have issues with productivity? I don't know. That's going to be another thing that it needs to be considered. But right now, and at least here, in this space where I work, some people are lucky enough to work 3 days on and 2 days off. They mean they work remote 2 days out of the week. And that is fantastic if I had the chance to do so. However, my job doesn't allow me to do so. So this is already, the pandemic shaped working, the job environment in a crazy, crazy way. And it's insane. But you also need to be considering that if you see the unemployment rate, at least recently, has gone up by 4.3% from 3.5. And what I was reading today is that the Fed overestimated the amounts of jobs that were created or lost. I think I was writing something in this regard today because I wrote a post. And that was pretty insane. So let me see here. So upon revision, the Fed job growth was far less than expected, with 1 million jobs lost instead of the previous estimates. I'm afraid the US economy is being held by a tiny toothpick supporting a giant domino with tons of shit. So this is what I wrote on X, if you want to go and check it out. My handle is the same name as the YouTube channel, Elauno, ELAUNO, with a number 1 after that, at Elauno1. So this will be it for today, guys. Just meditate regarding the jobs here. Are the Germans doing a good job? Will they do a great job? And I guess we'll find out. I'll see you for the next segment. Bye.